Hello.
I hate friggin' ads. It's still showing ads on the phone here.
Yeah, that's the main reason I do the intro. Even I need to make a couple more. That way I can just change it up a little bit so it's not the same intro all the time.
You need to make one good one 15 minutes long.
Oh boy.
You know,
Good evening, everybody.
it's
Hey,
nice
Lady
to be
D.
back up here on air again. I've been down for a while.
Yeah, Dana B.
Debbie
And Lady
Gold.
D. We got Robert Bates. Hey, how's it going? B Charming.
Mary Luck.
Yep, Mary Luck's sitting here.
Robert Bates.
I think that's about it. It's a slow start.
Did you get Debbie Golden?
Bubble Bibble. Can't forget Bubble Bibble. Oh, Debbie Golden. Hope you're doing good, Debbie. But what I wanted to go over today is it's kind of what's going on with food prices, and for those who were wanting to get into prepping, what might be a little late for those people, but to me it's never too late unless it's, you know, everything took a big dump real quick. Yeah. I didn't actually go to the store because I don't like going to Walmart in the first place, but the whole purpose of this is you got $100 bill. If you have an extra $100 bill, and I made it as simple as I could. I've got the whole list, and I'm going to read it off and everything. Food that's going to last for a week. One person. so you can kind of gauge this, and you could probably make this 2 to 3 people, depending on how much you eat and whatnot. But I'll go ahead and get started. And remember, this is for a week. So I won't be able to see chat right now because I'm on another screen where I've got this all written down. Starting with eggs. 2-pack of 18 is $9.58. Now, this price for eggs will be going up in the next probably month. So $9.58 is probably what you're going to be spending on one thing of eggs here shortly.
Damn, what type of eggs are you buying? Gold-plated ones?
No, that's what's happening. We got California has some issues. Won't go into too much of that. It's just expect egg prices to be going way up. Now eggs are good. Protein, you know, all that good stuff, even though half the time they're good and half the time they're bad.
Yep.
The next thing, and again, this could be a perfect week's worth of food. And the next one is canned chicken and dumplings or beef stew, or you can combine the two. And again, these prices may vary in the areas you're in. These cans sell for $3.74.
Good God.
Now, and that's 7 cans. 7 cans cost $26.18. So already our eggs are $9.58, and our protein, which is the chicken and dumplings or the beef stew, is $26.18. So you're already like $35 right there. Now, the next thing is canned peaches, pears are being sold for $3.16. You purchase 7 cans, and again, 7 cans. This is for a week. It's going to cost $22.12.
Damn.
Our next one is a cheap one, and
Bag of rice.
I think this is only because right now they're on sale. So canned beans, the regular pork and beans, 98 cents a can.
Oh, hell, time to go buy a case.
You can make, chili with them, and you can spice them up, whatever the thing, whatever you want to do with them. Or you could go another way and buy 10 pounds of rice. And at the moment, which this will be going up too, rice is going to be going up really high. $11.48 for 10 pounds of rice. And that's not the Walmart brand, because you stay away from that. Don't buy the Walmart brand rice.
Shit, 10 pounds of rice will last me and wife at least a year.
The next thing is a vegetable. So canned corn, green beans, whatever. Right now is $1.92 a can, and that's that's for Del Monte. It's not for the Walmart can. So 7 cans is $13.44. And like I said, I tried to get it as close as I could to the $100. It actually went over like $104 and some change with the tax and everything. But
you wasn't including
that's $100 right there. Now you sit there and think about that. That's $100 for a week's for food. Again, the eggs you could stretch out. Getting the extra beans or the rice, you could stretch more food out with that. It depends. Like I said, that's what it all came up to. But again, if you go back 2 years, that $100 would probably give you enough for a whole month of food. And I know there's other choices that you could go with. I didn't go with the fresh meat, and all that, because if you use it just to survive on for a week, this is something that, except for the eggs, you can put in a box and shove it under your bed or something, and that's emergency food for a week. Again,
true.
That's still $100 though.
Well, let me throw something in there right quick. If y'all going to start storing, which everybody I think done started, remember this right here: store canned food that you can open up the can and eat it raw right out of the can, because who's to say power won't go out or something like that, and you don't have no way to cook something. You
Well,
can still open a can of
if you're a
beans.
prepper, if you're already prepping the food, then you should, by rights, have ways of cooking it.
Well, now I meant to tell you this in the back there, but I forgot. There's a possibility my grandson may be in chat tonight, and he just turned 18. Okay, and he is really starting to get into some of this right much.
Mm-hmm.
And his mom and daddy don't really tell him nothing about this right here. So it would be up to people like us to, let's say, start these conversations all over again, like people that has no idea what to do
Yeah.
like that. You know, so if you hear me say something like that, I mean, please forgive me. I know I'm going to say 9.5 out of 10 people in here already know that. But there is always that chance somebody is tuning in for the first time, has no idea what to do.
Mary Luck talked about the eggs. Eggs is real easy to preserve. You boil them, put them in a jar, and there are ways. What do you call it? Water glassing.
Yeah, glazing, glassing, something like that.
Yeah. To where you can put eggs in a jar and they can last a year.
Now, this I've never experimented with or done nothing about. I've seen it, but I have no idea about it.
Yeah, like I said, that the egg bit, that's the only thing that you would actually have to do a little bit to. And I tried to make this list as simple as, and that's why I did the beef stew, even though it's very expensive for a can of that, $3.79. But I remember in 2020 when just a can of chicken, and by the way, it's extremely hard to find chicken that doesn't have the pop top anymore.
Yeah,
And it's really hard to find it under $5 now for a can of that.
Really?
Canned chicken, yeah. I mean, you can find some, but it's not very good quality stuff.
Yeah.
It's more juice than anything.
Yeah. They weighed the juice instead of the meat. Bushcraft, there is in chat, and I cannot pronounce his first name correctly, so forgive me. Potia Native. She asked a question, what about water? And that kind of hit me up with a video. I think you done one today.
Yeah.
About water and everything. You want to do a little highlight on that? What types of water not to buy?
Well, that's if you're in Ohio. Well, and that goes for any state really, because you go to the store and you think, oh, there's bottled water. It probably comes from somewhere exotic and whatnot. More than likely, it comes from somebody's garage and it's piped in, or it comes out from their faucet or something like that. But do a little research where that bottled water comes from. And I don't suggest, you get
it from
having that being your water source. I mean, those are good to have, because I've got bottled water from the basement all the way up to the second floor. different rooms all have end tables of water with a towel over top of it or something for an end table. But which is, it's good for like if you go out hiking or something that you could use. Or but my water source is, I've got 5-gallon water jugs that, because I don't drink my tap water. I drink regular water from a 5-gallon jug that's, you know, filtered, cleaned, and all that good stuff. Soon as that's done, I fill up the jug with the tap water, that if I go to drink it again, I will actually purify it. And you can get these caps that go on these to reseal them from Amazon. I think I got 50 for like $14.
That ain't bad.
So, like Walmart has these 5-gallon jugs that have the water in them that cost $13. And they expect you to bring them back in to get $6 off of the next one. Instead of going out and buying a 5-gallon jug that's going to cost me $15 to $20, I get the 5-gallon jug from Walmart and then refill it up with water and store it in my basement.
Yeah.
So, and pretty much I'm getting a jug and 5 gallons worth of water for $13.
Well, something else. If y'all have a job and you got a payday, let's say every week or bi-weekly now, when you go to the store and you automatically buy a case of water, buy that extra case, set it back, keep stocking up. Because Bushcraft said the most important thing in life other than oxygen is water.
Yeah.
Without that water, you won't make it past 3 days.
Well, I would say it depends. If you're up here in the north and you went out in a t-shirt and it's pouring down rain, it turned to minus 20 below.
Morning.
You would need shelter before you need water, but more than likely, like I said, oxygen, water, and then food. Shelter is mixed in there too, but yeah.
You know, what you need to do is sit down on another stream, do the top 5 things everybody must have to survive. And I think you just named off 3.
Oh yeah. Well, Dave Canterbury, he's the one that well, I don't know if he's the one that came up with the 5 C's. And it's like a bug out bag.
Right.
What's the 5 things that you would need to survive? That's really hard to make out in the woods or desert or wherever you're at. One is combustion. That means, you know, something to start a fire. The second one is a cutting tool. Third is a container to, you know, boil water. Fourth is cordage, and the fourth one is a cover. Basically, that right there is enough for somebody to survive.
Exactly.
If they had knowledge of what they're doing. Because
now
knowledge is probably more important than all those.
Well, that's true. Now, let me bring this up. Carol Z, I have 350. I'm going to take, granted, bottles of water, and they are 16 ounces each. Sweetheart, 350 bottles will not last you a month because, on average, if you don't wash dishes, you don't bathe, a gallon a day. Okay, I'm gonna put it like that. But on average, I'm gonna say each person needs at least 2 gallons of water per day. 350 bottles of water, you're talking a pint per bottle. How many pints is that you need for a gallon?
Well, 128 per gallon, 128 ounces per gallon.
Okay, but that's going to break it down to what? 8 pints a gallon? Because what is the pint is 16 ounces? No.
I just went with just plain ounces, 128 ounces.
But you're gonna need more than that.
Oh, well, and that's the thing. It's if you're just sitting in a corner waiting for things to go by and everything, you only need a gallon of water a day.
Yeah.
Now, if you actually have to go out and dig a hole to to relieve yourself, or you have to go out and tend to the garden, or you have to feed the animals, or you have to do anything, depending on the temperature, or also if it's cold, technically you should drink more to keep your body temperature up, because when you eat and whatnot, it actually warms you up.
True. Now, it was also said that when the power goes out, they eat out of paper plates. Let's say the power goes out for a long time. What are you going to do with them paper plates? Because you can't keep them in your house. After a while, they're going to start smelling. You got to get rid of them. You know, the dumpsters, they're going to start getting full and everything. You can't burn them because that's going to give you away. You know, you got me lost on that one. What the hell would you do with paper plates? You can't burn them. Dumpster's going to get full. Your neighborhood's going to start stinking.
Well, if you're living in a city, it's
going to stink anyway.
There's going to be trash all over the place anyway. I mean, you've seen, well, in New York City, when the trash guys went on strike,
yeah,
you see how bad it went in the city. It was piles and mountains.
Yeah, I remember that.
Where was it they done that? And the citizens took all their trash and dumped it on the state capitol. It was a city. I mean, they done, what was it? Something like about 2 or 3 weeks that they didn't pick up trash. And people took it up on the state capitol and threw it on the steps. And within 3 days, trash done started resuming again.
Yeah, I always found it. If you looked in the city part, trash was in like mountains and stuff. But you know where these the government officials and the mayor and stuff, they didn't have any trash out in front of their places.
No. How do you make your own beer? That's going to be another stream.
Yeah, that's I wouldn't worry about beer. It's a lot easier to make wine.
And then from wine, you go to the really hard stuff. And everybody should have a bottle of hard liquid, not to drink. Okay. Let's say you get a cut that cleans your wound and everything, so forth, you know. And I'm going to say something else, and I do this. If anybody is canning, let's say you've got, you can put 2 or 3 more jars in there. Fill your jars up with water and can it.
Oh yeah.
You know,
If
right
anything, so your jars don't fall over. It has something to set against.
It keeps them from busting. You know, that purifies. No, what's that word I'm looking for? In other words, that sterilizes your water also. You know, so if you get a cut, you can open one up and pour it on there and wash your wounds.
Oh yeah, because once that's what do they call that?
Yeah, exactly.
Water. I forget what kind of water it is.
You're catching up to me. It's not purified. It's oh God. Next subject before I go crazy.
But that the whole title, distilled.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you, Life with Bobby. But now, I know it seems like we got on the water and we stayed there. Is there anything else that comes to your mind?
For water, you should
No. For something else.
Oh well, I'm gonna say you should have multiple ways of cleaning the water, because, like I said, with the I actually learned quite a bit of how they process the water to get it out to the public. There are, and I can't, the word is really big. It's a chemical that they put in the water that lowers all the other chemicals to fall to the bottom. The other chemicals like chlorine, fluoride, and all that other crap that they put in the water, that's what they use to clean the water and to purify it and all that funky stuff. And they use another chemical that lowers all that, so it goes to the bottom of the tanks and stuff. And then they pump it out from the top. That way that all those chemicals stay down low. What I was getting at is when whatever happens, when there's nobody working there or they just have a generator running, if they don't have somebody administering those chemicals to lower all those bad chemicals that they use to clean it, you'll end up getting that in your water. And if you get that in your water, it is very bad for you.
Now, little on preface, you made a comment. I'm parked on my mom's property, which is on the river. The water is muddy and silky, but I can pre-filter and then use my life straw community water filters. Let me say something real quick. Okay.
Yeah. You know what I'm going to say about the life straw.
Yeah. But I mean, it's better than nothing. Straight up.
Yeah. A life straw is an emergency use only.
Exactly. But
that's it.
Do this right here. make darn sure you boil your water, because that will get rid of a lot of germs, but it will not get rid of some that can still do you harm.
Chemicals.
Purify, yes, chemicals. Go ahead and purify it like you normally would. That should take care of what, 98, 99% of it. But
Yeah,
that's
like I said, there are things that if
you cannot boil to purify.
yeah, if you boil water that has a certain chemical in it, you just activated it and you just made your water toxic. And that's the things what you need to you have a kit, and you can get a swimming I think it's like a swimming pool kit or a fish tank kit to test the water. And if it has that chemical, which I can't remember what it is, if it has that chemical in it, whenever you boil the water, it'll make it toxic.
I'll go play with your toy.
And the whole thing with the river, there's ways to filter that soot and that film of that water to where you can, nitrate. That's what it is. Thank you. Life Bobby's on the ball tonight.
Yes, she is.
And I forget what they call it. It's an Indian something other well, to where if you're next to a river, you dig a hole next to the river and the water will seep through the soil and everything into this hole, and it'll be cleaner than the water in the river. That doesn't mean there's nothing in that. You still have to boil that water, but it'll be cleaner than what comes straight from the river.
Yeah. Hello, Grape Jams. Good evening. But I mean, there's a lot of digging that research. Let me rephrase that. There's a lot of research that you must do. And the quicker you can do it now while the internet is still up, the better off you're going to be when the internet goes down. And trust me, it will go down. When, I don't know.
Yeah, and
Okay.
what?
Yeah, I was talking to what?
Oh. Oh.
Now, 101, we was talking about distilling water when you do your own canning and you got a little bit of space in there.
Yeah.
Tablets, that helps.
Hey, Misty. Now, for having something to cook on, I mean, you can always cook on a fire, but in some cases you don't want to be cooking on a fire. There's the little gas stoves. I've showed mine on here before. They're from like $20 to $25, $30. They take the little gas tank, butane things. One of them will last a good bit. You can probably at least 5 to 10 meals on one tank, at least, depending what you're cooking on and stuff. There's a kerosene stoves.
What you gonna do when you run out of kerosene?
Well, that's what I'm saying. You use those when you don't want to have a fire out there telling everybody you're cooking whatever you're cooking.
You know, this is something I've said when I can't marauders. Okay, when they out, they run around, which they will be.
Well,
The number one
something.
thing that's going to give you away is cooking outside, because that smell will carry for a long way.
Can I ask you if you stored the water on cement? Because cement and plastic,
Do not.
the chemicals that are in cement will eat plastic, and that goes for 5-gallon buckets. That goes for basically any type of plastic, because cement will actually eat through plastic.
Get you
The
some
chemicals
pallets.
in cement will actually eat through the plastic. It was on a shelf. Okay. Yeah. Depending what kind of plastic it was. If it's bottled water, depending when you like how it was delivered to the store where you got it. If it was in a truck that got over 68 degrees, that compromises the seal of those plastic bottles. And that's the same way in like if you store stuff in your house, if it get a lot of stuff, if you go over 68 degrees, like stuff you can in jars, if it goes over a certain temperature, it'll start getting cloudy and things like that. That's why you store it all in the basement, stuff like that.
See, now that's right there, something I didn't know until about 6 months ago when you started
Yeah.
talking about it. So I'm wondering how much of my stuff has gone bad.
And and not all of it will do that. There's some things that are acid base, and that's what I was asking you earlier today. You were wanting to can cabbage, some kind of cabbage soup. I said depends what else is in there, how long you like. If there's meat, then it has to go to a higher temp or a higher length of time to be canned.
Uh, be charming. It's better to go ahead and buy some than not have none. And who was it? When you're dead, they were 2-gallon plastic water containers, but the plastic is cheap. It only lasts a year or so.
Yeah, that's the thing about the bottled water. I've seen people buy skids of bottled water for their storage of. When I talk about bottled water, I'm talking like the little bottles, not the gallon jugs or anything like that.
Well, now I found something out I did not know. It was a thing on TV. Let's say history on plastic. Come off the bat. They was
Yeah,
talking about repurposing plastic containers and everything, and they brought up the water bottles where you buy water in. If you get it, and when you open it up, and your fingertips can meet one another, that's that's used plastic. Is what that is. But when you get the I can't even think of the name of the one I'm wanting to say. It's got pretty stiff bottles. You know, when
oh
you open it up, it ain't gonna
yeah,
steal it.
there's codes on the bottom of them where you can.
Yeah, but I'm looking at it like this, okay? And I've said it a time or two. We didn't have all this sickness until plastic started coming out a few years ago. And I know you remember getting ale, pop, or soda in glass bottles.
Oh yeah.
And they switched from that to plastic. And then everything started going plastic and everybody started getting sick. I don't care who you are or anything like that. You get plastic, you leave it out in the sun or in heat or something like that, the molecules in it will start heating up and
Oh
get
yeah.
heated. Or you can put it in the microwave and it does the exact same thing.
Yeah. I mean, look at all
Yeah,
the microwave stuff that you.
containers. Yeah.
I mean, everything's plastic, or it has a film over top of it. It's all
Exactly.
plastic.
The best thing you can do is this right here. Let's say, damn, what happened? He hit the wrong button. Let's say you go get a TV dinner. Take everything out of that plastic tray, put it on a plate, and warm it up in the microwave. Hey, that was the wrong button.
That wasn't even me. That was my hat that I had setting up of here. Fell down on my mouse and clicked something that shut it off. I was like, wow.
Boy, look, even your hat is after you. What did you do to it?
Well, I moved this and it slid off the arm. You can't see the arm over here, but it slid off and hit my mouse. And I don't know what it would have clicked.
Mike Jones wants to know any truth to plastic being turned into fuel. I haven't heard that.
Well, anything that burns can be a fuel. It probably could. I don't know if it can be carbonized though. You know, like if you put a bunch of wood into a sealed barrel and then heat the barrel up to where you can the gases from it escape, and you can run regular gas engines off of that, which is what do they call it, a gasifier.
That's something I have no knowledge in.
And I'm pretty sure you could do that with plastic too, but I don't. That
Well,
might,
they do it with tires. Why not?
yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, you could do that. The only thing is, that would be very, very bad for breathing around and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it got chemicals in it.
Yeah,
Maybe one or two, it's going to stink, but maybe one or two won't hurt you. But you get into a field where they start burning tons of it. I would say that would.
yeah. Robert brings up something, and I've seen, you know, these big the YouTubers, you know, that have Patreon and different groups, and they advertise all their stuff about every 5 minutes.
Mike, I saw that.
They tell you to have a get home bag, and they have a bottle of water in the bag, and I don't tell people to put if you want to have water, put it in a glass container or a stainless steel container in your vehicle. That way you could, if it's in a plastic container, if you live anywhere that gets over 68 degrees in your car, that when that heats up, it releases the chemicals.
OP, I did not know that. You can run your burned tires and plastic through a catalytic converter to remove the soot. So that's one thing I like about this up in here. You know, so many people has got knowledge,
Yeah.
and there's 2 or 3 people that's done said up in here tonight, you know, something I didn't even know about.
Make sure
Uh-oh.
we say a prayer for what life. He's not feeling good all of a
Yeah.
sudden.
I hope it ain't like food poisoning and nothing like that.
I think he doesn't go out and eat or anything. I think he cooks his own stuff.
Well, what I'm saying is he may cook something, but take a plate to work with him, you know.
Oh,
Like that.
yeah. But I think we have to revisit these conversations because as you've seen, I just put a bunch of stuff in the title, um, economic collapse, which evidently Biden says this is the strongest the economy has ever been.
I like to know which high horse he can get up there with him. Just laughing of it.
Civil unrest and all this. We have civil war talk, which I think there's shenanigans going on with the Civil War stuff.
Well, you had mentioned something a while back ago, and I've kind of thought about it. And the more I thought about it, the less sense it made. That's been going on for years and years. And here in the last 3 years, real bad. Why did they wait 3 years to do this? For one thing, what happens on November the 5th? Think about that.
Well, that's a whole other story. That's
That's another show.
We won't see what this whole situation with Texas is going to be about until the summer.
I don't think it's going. I think. Well, yeah. Summer comes before November.
Yeah.
And wildlife, I mean, not wildlife, Robert Bates, she has selective hearing, just like us husbands.
Yeah, and then there's the EMP. There is certain countries that have threatened to set a few things off on our soil. And I'm not going to talk about that too much because, yeah.
That'd get you taken down quick.
Yeah, and everybody knows who it is, and it's not the 2 big ones. It's the one we're having issues with. That stuff's fishy over there on top of it.
Let's just say I ran a quarter of a mile today. Okay, read in between the lines. Robert Bates, you really, truly. Now, look. I'm not in the mood to be cutting up or putting somebody down, but you keep it up and I'm going to get in the mood. And when it comes to rap, I can't stand that music.
And Andy from True Grit, I was watching his video today, and he was he was using a sawmill and cutting up his own lumber and stuff, and he's had comments that say, "Why are you wasting your time? You have to go down and get the log, and you have to bring it up, and you have to cut it up with chainsaw, and you have to spend all that time to saw and cut it up in pieces and everything, when you can just go to the store and buy it." And he put it plain and simple, just like the food. The food he grows to feed his family is a hell of a lot different than stuff he gets from the store.
Oh God, yes.
and that's you can't say anymore. Just like the wood he mills is nothing like what you're going to get at the store.
I think the only thing that runs faster than Robert is his tongue. Look, years ago, McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, KFC. Well, no, I can't say KFC. That shit sucks. Bojangles,
They're all bad.
restaurants like that. That's how I lived. You know, come on. I drove a truck for a good while. And then I had an accident that put me out of work. And then me and the wife started cooking at home. Okay. And oh God, what was it? A little over a year, a little bit longer than that. You know, we was eating home cooked food. We said, let's go get us something to eat. That was an argument right there to start with, but we finally figured out where we went. That was the nastiest damn food I think we have ever ate. And from that restaurant used to be some of the best food. After you done eat home cooked for so long, and then when you go to a restaurant,
Oh, you get sick.
like night and day.
You'd be running to the commode real quick.
Stay away from Taco Bell.
Well, it doesn't matter. Any of those places will get you. If you're not used to eating that stuff, it's like,
yeah.
And I'm not talking about, going to the grocery store and getting microwave meals and stuff that has preservatives in it. I'm talking about food that you grow in your garden and you cook it up. There's no processed food chemicals in there. Oh, it's night and day.
Okay. Why is so much of our food from America is banned in other countries? Y'all think about that.
Oh yeah, just like the chicken. Our chicken doesn't go to any of the countries in the UK area or Germany. There's a bunch of countries that will not allow our chicken in their country. It's banned.
Okay, chemicals.
Because we wash our chickens in bleach and then package it up.
Really?
Yeah.
That I did not know.
Yeah, that's the reason why. Which bleach is chlorine.
Well,
I mean, just the fact that it's a chemical.
Something else there was another creator was talking about, and again, it's something that has been said in our community quite a few times. Going back a few years, the start of eliminating our food. I'm talking like hogs, chickens, and so forth like that. You look at it now, we got a shortage on account of that. Anytime they start telling you, oh God, I don't even want to get into the recalls.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Y'all better start stocking up. And I ain't talking stocking up for a week or a couple of weeks. Okay. If you don't know how to can chicken, pork chop, or anything, and yes, I said can, and yes, you can do it. You better learn, and you better learn fast. Because now, what was it? Beef quite a few years ago was what, 3-4 times cheaper than what they are now. Now,
Oh, it's going to go up a lot more this year.
yeah. But what I'm saying is, seeing as how there is a shortage on it, it's
There's not really a shortage.
No, there
Not
ain't
the
no
way
shortage.
they're. It's kind of hard to explain because it's not really a shortage. A lot of what they say the shortage is regulations and feed. It has nothing to do with the farmers bringing it to market. There's a lot of technical stuff in the background that's going on that makes it seem like there's a shortage, which drives the price up. It's all playing type stuff.
Now, I do remember what, 4, 5, 6 years ago that they was going and making the farmers get rid of.
Well, we won't talk about that stuff.
Okay. Well, tune in part 2 on my channel Wednesday, and let's see what happens. But next subject.
Yeah, everybody already knows about this stuff anyway. It's not like it's shocking news about what they do with farmers and livestock people and whatnot. Look at what's going on overseas. The farmers had enough, and they're painting the officials' buildings nice color brown. They getting
fresh fertilizer.
Yep. They're putting fertilizer on the buildings over there.
Very, very fresh fertilizer.
Yeah, you notice pretty bad when the people with the hoses have masks on and they're used to it.
Yeah. Now, for the people who live in the city, if you want to drive your neighbors insane, ride out to the farm and get you some fresh manure to put in your gardens during the summertime.
Well, you don't want to do that.
I will. It's just to get on my neighbor's last nerve.
Yeah, but you'll kill every plant in your garden. You got to let that stuff.
Okay, I'll give you that. Put it in their garden. Put it in their. No, you can't do that. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Hog manure is worse on a 90-degree day. I'm not going to disagree with that. It wasn't doing no good anyway.
Yeah, Carol Z, the bird flu is in California really bad right now. So eggs are going to go way up in your area.
Hint.
Well, she's already, like I said, it's already happened. If
you are in a position to raise your own chickens, do it by all means.
Well, see, that's the thing. You have to be careful in certain areas that for these the bird flu. There's so many regulations now. and they actually, it was in the news too. So this is not fake or anything. They have helicopter. Well, during the really bad part of the bird flu, uh, helicopters and drones flying around to find people
that
that had chickens, and then they all of a sudden they would get a knock on the door and find out how they were uh, raising their chickens. And well, I did a video on it. You had to clean your boots, and there was a bunch of stuff that you had to do. And like I said, this was during the real bad part of the bird flu.
Yeah.
Where they would come out and make you do things, because if one bird gets that bird flu, they would take out the whole flock. It was mandatory to take out the whole flock.
It was somewhere up north. They caught 2 birds with bird flu, and it made them dispose of, what was it, 30,000 of them, something like that.
Oh no, it's in the millions.
Well, I'm talking about this one farm.
Oh yeah, there's some in Ohio that was millions of birds were farms that they had millions of chickens and turkeys too. I think in Indiana that was the turkeys that were millions in the millions that they had to kill off.
Now I don't know if this was in North Carolina or Georgia, but there was a chicken farm down there, and I only caught a glimpse of it. But on that farm, it looked like he had, I'm going to say, maybe 8 houses. Now, you got to remember, each house can hold up to 30 to 40,000 each house. For some strange reason, one of them caught on fire.
Oh yeah. That one was in Texas.
Was that in Texas?
Yeah, there was one in Texas that just happened not too long ago.
Well, that's been happening sometime last week, I think it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But what I'm getting at, very suspicious, isn't it?
Well, again, I did a video for, I think it was 2021, that there was over 100 fires on food places, be it cereal to chicken places to beef places. We had cow. Remember the dairy farm that blew up because of manure evidently was stored too close to the building, and it blew up the whole place.
Yeah, now if that was a new farmer getting into it, I can understand. But the way they described it on the news, he's been doing that quite a few years, and he knows better. So that, to me, in my mind, that rules that out.
Oh yeah.
But now, don't get me wrong. In the center of manure, oh man, it's hot. It's like a furnace in there.
Oh yeah. That's pretty much even regular compost.
Yeah.
That's what I said. If I ever had where I can make a big greenhouse, I would have 2 ends would be open to where I would have compost, where I'd be making compost on both ends, and it would heat my greenhouse through the winter, because they'll get it gets up to 120 degrees for some, depending on what compost you're making.
Well, I mean, okay, let's say this is what, 24. Let's just go back and say since the start of 20. Okay. There is a whole lot of strange things been happening in the food industry.
Yeah.
And I mean, you've got recalls. You've got, I know for a fact, at least 10 a week that,
Oh, there's a lot more than that.
well, I'm just using that as an example. Okay. 10 a week. I cannot think of no food on the market for some reason that has not been recalled yet, some way or another.
Well,
You
what I find is interesting is the food that we get from Canada. Sorry for you guys in Canada up there, but there's more recalls in Canada than there is in the United States right now.
Now, I know the reason for this, what I'm fixing to say, but I'm like you a little bit better with the words than I am. Why is it that our homegrown food is not recalled or put us in hospitals? But yet, if you go to a store, and I do know for a fact, not every store will pull recalled foods. Okay, that's fact. But
Well,
yet they leave it
it's
on the
not the stores. It's not the stores that do it. It's the companies.
well,
And and for the FDA to issue a a recall, it has to have so many people complain about something first before they investigate it. And then once they investigate it, they have to have a certain number on which they can say, oh, recall it.
yeah,
And
whether it be
a
fatal
lot of
or not.
times it just goes, by the time they investigate it, it's already done ate and everybody's sick and whatnot by the
But
time that they issue anything.
but what I'm saying is a few of the companies, I want to say a lot of the companies, but a few of the companies, they won't even pull it. They'll just keep selling it. And I know
Oh yeah,
one, I know
that's
one
that's the
major,
thing.
see, I know one major store here, and people will go shopping and they'll take some food out of their buggy and stick it in the shelf. The fact is, they'll put it right back in the refrigerator, let it get
Oh
cold.
yeah,
That's fact. That
yeah.
ain't
There's times when you go through checkout and you'll see somebody's food that they didn't want.
yeah.
It'll be sitting there and it'll be there for 3 or 4 hours, and then they'll go back and put it in on in the meat section or in
Yep.
or the milk or cheese or whatever it is.
So therefore, what you buy, you don't know if it's good or
Oh
not.
no.
Truthfully, that's anywhere, you know. But there's these bigger companies, all they after is the money. They don't care if you get sick. They expect so many lawsuits a year. They put back for it.
That's what insurance is for.
Exactly. So people like us, we don't matter. The only way we matter to them is to keep buying from them.
Well, that's John, that's what I was wondering. Is it that, or um is because a lot of it comes from United States. It's what comes from there to here, and we deem it not good, or that it's been reported as being bad. So
I'm going to
I
tell you,
wonder, is it our standards are too high, which I doubt, or is it Canada's is too low? It it's hard to say. That'd be something to get into and see what their their regulations is on, because like when we get something from other countries, it has to go through a screening to see if it's, you know, it's liable stuff, if it's any good or anything like that. And then it has, once it goes through that process, then it goes to the grocery stores.
I wonder how much of our food is not allowed in Canada, if any at all.
There are some, there is some.
Okay,
Um,
okay. Because I know us in Canada are supposed to be, well, with Trudeau and Biden, let's say butt buddies.
I don't know.
It
I do know, like their cheese and their dairy is having major issues right now with the recalls. What was it? Last thing I seen was ready to eat ribs
no shit.
from Canada, and these are these are some that are in the United States, and it's um, USDA has deemed it a recall for it. What is it? McGregor's, I think, meats and seafood. They're ready to eat ribs. Have been recalled. It's like 2 to 8,000 pounds of meat or something like that. Of
Well,
ribs.
now, let me ask this question, and I personally don't know. You go to some grocery stores, boxes of Velveeta, okay? You got some stores that puts them in the coolers, and you got some stores that puts them out on the shelf. I mean, now the Velveeta is it supposed to be
Well, first of all, why are you calling it cheese? Because it has no cheese in it. There's no dairy in it.
Well, hell, I didn't know. Well, yeah, I did too.
That stuff is a chemical creation.
Have you tasted that government cheese you get here lately?
I didn't know they
Velveeta,
still did government cheese.
yeah, Velveeta tastes better.
Well, that's not cheese though.
Exactly. But it still tastes better than the government cheese.
I didn't know the government was giving out cheese anymore.
Yeah. Well, the government calls it Velveeta. Okay. But
Well,
peanut butter and
that's
trust me,
not cheese.
this government cheese is not Velveeta. I'll tell you that right now. But the question is, why is it when you go into some grocery stores, that cheese is in a refrigerated section and other stores it's sitting out on the shelf?
I don't know. I don't eat it. If I want melted cheese, I just melt it with, I shred it up and put it with some milk and melt it.
I like that 2 pound block of cheese that you get. You can shred it up yourself or whatever. That's the best tasting cheese I've tasted.
Oh yeah, that anything that's already shredded is I don't want to say laced, but it kind of is with another chemical so it doesn't stick together.
Okay, I see where you could what you saying on that.
Yeah.
But that, I mean, I can't even think the name, Brandon, none of it. But what you have to go in and get it in blocks, other than hoop cheese, period. That's some of the best cheese I've tasted in a long time. And when it comes to hoop cheese, to me, they ain't none no better. Is that on your end or my end?
Um,
That sounds like a train about 10 miles away blowing a horn.
well, not on my end.
Damn, I know my hearing ain't that good. If it is, I'm in trouble because Dixie be talking my ears off.
Yeah, the government hasn't done American or government cheese since 1990.
Well, I'd like to know where the food pantry's getting theirs from.
Well, it's probably some other place making it because the government doesn't do it anymore.
All right. Now, I will admit, back in the day, government cheese was good.
Oh yeah, that stuff was awesome. In
Yeah,
the
it was.
80s, that's the best thing to make grilled cheese with. Oh,
Yeah, macaroni and cheese.
because you can make it as slick as you wanted to,
Yes, you could.
and with the government butter too.
Oh man, don't even go there with the butter. Butter is not butter no more. Butter, fresh butter, has got a certain taste to it that no store has anymore. You know,
Yeah, that's why I like to
yeah,
go over and get from the Amish ladies over there. They give me some good butter.
dude.
Oh, that didn't sound good at all. I buy it at the store.
Yeah. Okay, you ate Amish butter, fresh Amish butter. You may know what I'm talking about, but when you take a bite of it, does it have a certain taste to it?
It tastes good. I mean, you could eat chunks of it.
Well, see, I cannot even go to a store and buy what they call 100% butter. You know, bring it home and take a bite of it. It don't taste like the butter did when I was
It's because of the preservatives and stuff that's in it, and like
no.
Walmart.
We'll have to go
If you put a little bit of butter in a pan, um, you'll see the moisture coming out of it, which is the water, because they when they put it in the chunks, they actually add water to it. So you get more butter, which it's not more butter. It's mainly
water.
yeah.
Well, now the best cheese around here, and we call it June cheese, June. Okay, because it was done in the month of June, believe it or not. And it's got a better taste to it than any other cheese that I've tasted. And
Yeah, there are some good cheeses that it's not processed cheese.
right.
And processed cheese can be any kind of cheese that they add preservatives and stuff to it. If you can get it to where it says no preservatives or no additives, or it's just milk and that's it.
You better go to an Amish store then.
Well, no, they do have some. I can't remember the name of the brand, but
And it's got on there no preservatives.
yeah, it's good cheese.
I'm like, oh,
And it's basically cheese that's aged, not the process where they run it through a processor, not a processor, but process.
yeah.
It's processed. I'll put it that way.
Well, see, the bad thing about it is the way the
Garnet
economy,
or something like that. I can't remember the name of it now.
the way the
Cabot?
economy, who?
Cabot. I think that might be it.
Pappy Two Bears, I'm 100% in agreement with you. Butter made from raw milk is different and tastes better than from pasteurized milk. I agree.
I don't know
And
if that.
I wish you go to a dairy farm and buy milk. That's some of the best milk you'll taste coming out of them
Yeah,
steel containers. But
it's Cabot.
Cabot,
CABOT, and it's made in Vermont cheese.
I'm gonna have to look for that.
Yeah.
Now, Carol, there's some
Crazy Irish was one that told me about that cheese.
Okay. Now there's some goat cheese I love.
Yeah, pasteurized. That's the other thing I was talking about. Yeah.
Pasteurization.
Because a lot of the cheese, well, the cheese is made by the pasteurized milk, which in turn makes the cheese bad.
Nasty.
Yeah.
Hello, Art Wild Man.
Hey, Ark. How's you doing?
I don't know if I'm pronouncing this
Goat
right.
cheese burns my throat. Huh?
I like Cabot and Tillamook cheese. Be charming.
Yeah, I ain't heard that other one.
I ain't neither.
Tillamook.
It must be for the rich people up in New York and DC.
Yeah, that shredded cheese is bad. It's wood, really fine wood pellet things. So it does silicone and stuff. So it doesn't stick to each other. Same thing with a lot of the spices you get at the store. Go read the like garlic powder. It should say garlic. That's it. If you look on there and there's 4 or 5 different other things, don't get it. and like the garlic powder that you get from Walmart is actually from the garlic that's grown in China, that is radiated. I'll leave it at that. A lot of their garlic that they grow has traces of radiation and mercury and stuff like that. That's why anything that grows in the ground in China, don't eat that stuff. That's why they like the corn and stuff. They buy all that up from over here and store it over in their food bins for prepping for bad times. Just corn alone, China has 68% of the world's corn stored up for prepping in China. 68%. That it's still hard to believe. And it's same thing with wheat and all that other stuff. Rice. Ooh.
They make good ice cream, huh? I'm gonna have to. I ain't had no ice cream in so long. I forgot what it even looks like.
I've got some in the fridge. Butter pecan.
Oh,
not pecan.
No, it's pecan. I like sweet black cherry, not black cherry. Hello, Carson. It's sweet black cherry. It's got a better taste than regular black cherry does. And that is damn near impossible to find now.
Yeah, if you get a good place that makes their own ice cream,
Oh my
oh,
goodness.
and with fresh fruit and stuff, oh man.
I don't care what anybody says. Fresh fruit, you can't beat that. You know, apples, pears, peaches, oranges. Yeah, trust me, it ain't nothing like you gonna get from no store.
Let me find you his link.
Glad.
He's not prepping 101 anymore. I mean, he is, but he isn't.
What is it? Should I give the name out?
I'm posting a link.
Okay.
There you
go. Go to that one. Matter of fact, I think he's going live tonight, ain't he?
I have no idea.
Let me check. I think he is.
Yeah.
He is? Okay.
Yeah.
Damn, your fingers are quicker than mine.
Well, I was already on the page when I posted a link. And we talked about water, we talked about the food.
Again.
One of the other things is some people will agree with it and some people won't, but protection. And I'm not going to go into a conversation about that. You can get protection as easy as I think you can still get one for just a single shot for $100, brand new.
Yep.
For 12 gauge still. And used, you can probably pick other things up as cheap as that.
When's the last time you've been in a pawn shop?
They don't have one around here. They done away with them in this county.
Really?
Yeah, I don't even know if there's one in Zanesville. There used to be. I used to love going to the pawn shops because you can get some cheap stuff.
Now, okay, let me say this right here. It is 3 letters to this one pew. Last time I bought one brand spanking new, I paid $125 for it. And that's brand new. I went to the pawn shop about 2 years ago and I checked in on the exact same one. They want almost $400 or $500. Not pawn shop, dummy.
Yeah, I would just be careful of getting protection at pawn shops though.
Well,
make sure the pawn shop is I think they have to be licensed to.
Yes, they do.
To do those things and make sure those licenses are seen.
Now, I'll put it like this, okay? Around here, if you take one in to sell or pawn, they will run the serial numbers to make sure that it is legal. If it does not come back in your name, you're going to have a problem because you're going to have some people coming in that store wanting to know where you got it from. And if you can't give them the answer that They won't. Damn right, down yonder. Uh, you may be taking a ride. And then again, there is some pawn shops, pawn, P-A-W-N.
You need to, because it's real close to the other one.
Really?
Yeah, I heard it that time too.
All right. You can go get you a long gun. If you don't know what you're looking for, the rifling inside of it, there ain't none. You got to look for that also. And when I walk in and I got a light before that, it's like, oh shit, he knows what he's doing and stuff. And I'll go through. If I don't like it, I hand it back to him and tell him, say, look, let me see the other one. But just be careful when you go to one of them pew shops.
Well, usually those shops for that is usually licensed and everything.
Exactly.
It's the pawn shops that you have to watch out for, though, because a lot of them will sell stuff that could have been used in bad things.
Yeah.
That's why you have to be careful, because one day you end up,
Let's say having to use it and it come back. It was used somewhere else for something bad. Your ass
or not even using it, but being seen with it, and then they ask about it and they write the number down and say, oh,
yeah,
that's not yours.
But you see, if I go into one of those stores, I prefer to buy a brand new one than I had a used one.
Oh yeah.
And if I'm looking at a used one compared to a new one, and let's say $20, $30, or $40 more for the new one, go ahead and buy the new
one. Okay, I wanted to give an update on the survival seeds, on the herbal survival seeds collaboration. I should start sending the seeds out this week, unless something pops up and whatnot. Then I should have them sent out, because I was waiting for a couple other people to get back to me of what seeds they wanted out of the 4, and now I'm just going to send them out because I haven't heard back from them. So
I got 2 questions. Number one is for seed starting. What type of soil is the best to use?
depends on what you're growing.
Let's say vegetables.
Well, it like I said, it most I just make I do my own. I do a combination of, and I persicolite or whatever the heck that stuff is, the little white things
I got
that help with the moisture. And I put bone meal in it and different things.
Now, I got about 100 damn egg cartons. Can I use that to start?
That's it right there. Yeah, there's perlite too. Hey, Watt, I hope you're feeling better.
Carol Z sounds extremely interesting. First of all, what state do you live in? I ain't traveling over an hour.
But when you're doing your soil, I usually get a tub that has a lid on it, and for all my starter seeds, I use the soil and whatnot that I mix up. And like I said, I get a teapot and I boil water and I put boiling hot water in the soil before I add anything to it. And I make sure all the soil is completely wet with this boiling water. And I put that lid on top of it and let it set until it cools off. That way it kills off anything that, eggs or bugs or anything that might be in that soil. That way,
Okay.
when your seeds start coming up and all of a sudden you got bugs flying all over the place and you got mushrooms growing and all that stuff that is bad, that's what that's from, because even the bags of soil that you get at the store for starters or potting soil or whatnot, it has bugs in it. And unless you kill the bugs, they're going to be in your house. And that's why I always put boiling hot water in there, and it kills everything. And then
Now,
you can build all that stuff back up with bone meal and whatever else you want to put in there. Coconut husk is really good.
shit, I can't find a fresh coconut around here.
No, you buy it. It's ground up coconut husk.
Shit, I prefer to have the real coconut. I'll ground it up myself. What about egg cartons? Can you use that to start seeds in?
You can, but the thing is, it depends on the seeds too. Because like I said, some seeds won't germinate unless they get to a certain temperature. Like your peppers and tomatoes, they have to be in the 70-80 degree temperature.
Well, I'm gonna start them here in the house, and I'm gonna put them in the window where sun comes in, and
Well,
I'm also gonna wrap them up.
you don't need sun. You don't need sun to germinate.
Okay.
You need sun afterwards, after they come up.
Carol Z wants to know, how long do you leave it with a boiling water before you put the seeds in it?
Oh yeah, the seeds that's probably the next day or something. Before I'll do up my soil a day before or something like that, because
Thank you, Ginger Ninja.
it'll take probably at least 4 or 5 hours before it cools down, before I add the other stuff to it. That's just the bag soil, the starting soil or whatever I use to start with. And then I'll put the boiling hot water in there and I'll put the lid on it, which it actually keeps all the moisture in too. And then once that cools off, then I'll add all the other additives and stuff, fertilizer, and because I'll actually go out and get the rabbit poop. Well, yeah, you got nice warm weather out there. We can't do that up here in the Northeast. If I put it in the garage, I wouldn't grow anything.
Well, see, that's what I was planning on doing, is growing tomatoes here in the house till it started sprouting. And then after the weather started turning pretty good, just go ahead and transplant them from the carton because of the dirt out there.
Yeah, the only thing is that you'll have to continuously water, because that little bitty bit of soil in an egg carton,
Right.
7 days maybe, and then it's too small. It doesn't have room for the roots, and you have to water it constantly because it'll dry out.
Don't get me wrong. Yeah, I'm just trying to find. We've got about 100 egg cartons, okay, empty ones. I'm trying to get rid of them somehow.
Oh,
And I've got other stuff out in the shop to where I can transplant them from the egg carton until the weather changes good, you know. But I'm just wanting to get the tomatoes started.
yeah.
And if I could, I want to get some okra going this year. And to me, okra is about the hardest cotton picking thing there is to try to grow.
I ain't never had no problem with it.
But you lucky.
You gotta make sure that it has wherever you plant it has plenty of food,
Oh, it do.
fertilizer and whatnot to start kick off, because it'll draw out a lot of that the nutrient from the soil right off the bat.
Yeah. Now, when I first planted the garden down here, I planted it in the backyard in the field back there. And it wasn't a big garden. You know, I just wanted to see how the soil was. Dude, that was the first and only year I planted okra and it grew. I planted the first time I ever planted peppers. Okay. I didn't know how many peppers I was going to get off of one plant. I planted 10 plants. Oh my God. I had enough peppers to last me for 2 years, if not more. And okra, I did not realize how much okra you can get off of one plant.
Oh yeah, quite a bit. You want a lot of peppers for grow cayenne pepper. Oh
Well,
man,
see,
there's so many peppers on one of the. It's like a bush full of
dude,
peppers.
Roy last year he grew, I think it was like 2 plants of cayenne peppers. Okay, he told me, and he sent me a picture, and like you said, it was a bush, and he said that bush got what? I can't exactly remember. Let's say 3 foot wide and probably 5 foot high. He said he probably got between 50 to 100 peppers off that one plant.
Yeah,
he took half of them away.
The best thing to do with those is dry them out and then grind them up into powder.
He did.
Yeah.
He went and bought him, I'm going to say something like a bullet just for that, you know, like what do you call it? Food processor. But he got the bullet. And that's what he put his peppers in after they dried out. He said, you would think out of all them peppers I had, I would have got at least a pint out of that. He said, I didn't get hardly half a pint.
I've got it. I've still got like almost a quart jar full.
Really?
Yeah. And I actually use a coffee grinder, not a crank one, electric one.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you
to grind up all my herbs.
Let me tell you something.
And peppers.
Okay. I got a coffee grinder. I bought one. And it is a hand crank. I think I showed it to you.
Yeah, you showed it.
I'm not putting no peppers through that coffee grinder because
Well,
with my
that
luck,
yeah, that would be that
yeah.
wouldn't be fine enough anyway.
Oh, this one is adjustable. I turn it down to where it's just pure powder on this one.
Oh, okay. Because them real old ones, they didn't have adjusters. It was just one grind, and that was it.
Well, now, if you're grinding up coffee beans and you're going to put it in a percolator, they don't have to be real fine that goes in the ADC coffee maker,
Yeah,
you know.
because I remember having to do that for my grandpa. He said, "Go grind me up some coffee," and I would sit over and.
You know how my daddy ground up coffee? A rag and a brick. I've seen him do it I don't know how many times.
Yeah,
He'd
my
take,
grandpa would be making pancakes, and I'd be grinding up his coffee.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, and it smells so good when you're grinding it up. But when I
Oh,
was
it
a
does.
kid, even when I was real young, I would have because that was it. You either drink milk, coffee, or water. There was no pop, no Kool-Aid or anything like that. That's it.
The only time we got pop drinks, when I was a kid, is when mom and daddy went to the store, and trust me, once every 2 weeks, if you were lucky, they didn't go, mom and them, they didn't go out and buy stuff to cook that night and then go the next night and buy.
Oh yeah.
And they went and bought groceries. I'm talking a trunk full, maybe a back seat on top of that. They bought enough to
We never.
cook it for a
The only
month.
time my grandpa, and we walked to the town. Um, we he would get sugar, coffee,
What?
flour, and that's all I remember. Milk and everything else came from the farm or around. The next door neighbor had cows,
Yeah.
so I would
Cows,
go
hog,
over there and milk a cow and carry the bucket. Well, it wasn't a bucket. It was
a pail.
um no, it wasn't really a pail either. It was um it was long, and it had a lid that you poke down in that had cork around the outside, and you push it in there, and because that's how I carry it. I'd carry it hanging over my back like that and walk. And it
I think I
was
know what you're talking about.
like 20 gallons, probably
God,
15 gallons, maybe something like that.
I ain't seen one of them since I was a kid.
Yeah. I mean, because you would milk in a bucket, but you would pour it into that and then take it back over. And
That was milk. And grape
yeah,
jams, send me the recipe on that. I want to try that.
what's
Cucumber
that?
lemonade. I never heard of it.
Heard of what?
Well, see, the cucumber lemonade. I ain't never heard of it.
Well, I remember um,
Uh-oh.
sassafras tea. We would have that.
Yeah. Or Russian tea. But I can grow 5 acres of cucumbers and still won't have enough to can.
I don't know how. I grew 2 plants last year, and
Dude, I eat them about as fast as they pop out of the ground.
I had
I,
so many. I gave a bunch out to the neighbors. Well, I put a little table out and said for free in front of the house.
Now, my
but-
garden,
Oh, there. What's back? Hey, what?
now
Oh,
my
you say hi
garden
to
is
him, but
about-
not to me. Damn.
I did.
I didn't hear you. Jeff
I
must have been
didn't hear
talking.
you either. My garden is about 20 feet wide and probably 75 foot long. Okay.
Damn.
I plant, and I'm going 20 feet wide because that's going downhill a little ways. I plant.
It's going
Two
downhill, all
rows.
right? You're growing it.
Hey, hush up. I plant 2 rows of cucumbers. I'm getting about 30 plants total. There still ain't enough cucumbers to come in the house.
Shoot, I had to give them away last year. I couldn't eat them fast enough.
I told you guys about the one year. It was what was it? 19 that I got like 51 zucchini. I'm like, I don't know what to do with all this.
Hell, you had one zucchini about as long as your arm.
Oh, it was like as long as my arm and like twice as thick. Shut up, Jeff. I there's no way I could have worded it any different. Shut up, Jeff.
They say big things come in small packages.
Uh,
I don't know what happened to me earlier, man. I felt like death.
so guess what?
What?
Thursday I've got an interview
Oh, that's good.
Awesome.
at a winery place.
Oh, really?
Ironically, I don't drink, so
Oh,
Much.
check you out being all upper echelon.
oh yeah, like they're like uniform, like button down shirt, tie crap. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be wonderful. And I'm like, I said to my mom, I'm like, do I take the interview or not? Do I take the interview or not? It's the only one I've got. So
Try the Chateau Muller. It pairs well with the figs.
well, not to give it away, but well, you know what? I'll keep that away. I'll keep that off the internet.
Every time I drink a cup of coffee here lately, Bushcraft, I think about you. I wish you were standing close. I still ain't got used to it yet.
What?
Drinking coffee without sugar.
oh.
What? You've never had black coffee before?
Only when you get
A couple of
only
weeks
in gel.
ago.
Man, that
You know why they don't give sugar in jail, right? You know why?
I don't know.
Because that's actually you can use that as explosives, and if you superheat the sugar in the microwave, people have been known to use it as what is called a prison Molotov cocktail. They'll superheat the sugar in the coffee and then toss it in someone's face, and it sticks to them and burns them.
who has a microwave in gel?
The commons, I don't know. You tell me how they melt a toothbrush and make a shank.
Well, they
Then
don't melt it.
101, I appreciate that. I'm gonna have to try that.
Did I just like tell y'all how to make like improvised napalm?
Right. Leave it alone.
It's called it's called prison napalm.
That's all right. I'll figure it out. I'll burn my microwave up one, but it'll be outside. It won't be in the house.
Don't lose your eyebrows.
I've burned the hair off my arm with oxyacetylene before. I know what that's like.
Well,
Dude, look,
I've
hold on.
I've burned my bone on.
Your
Oxy-
your bone?
Yep, right here.
Shut up, 101.
Oh. Hey, I wasn't thinking that. I was just like, how the hell do you like sustain so much burning that you're down to the bone?
Well, it's acetylene torch. It doesn't take much.
Well, yeah, I know. It zips right through you. I get it.
Somebody tapped me on the shoulder while I was welding, and that's it. That's all it took.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, "Oh, cool!" as there's a
Oh,
little
cool.
there's a little flame on the bone
Ooh,
coming off of it, and
Oh, that's lovely.
I'll
they
take
said, "Oh no, you're in shock. You're not feeling any pain." And I said, "Well,
Well,
there's
no, that
pain,
there's
but
nothing there. There's nothing there to feel the pain.
I don't freak out and scream and oh when I get hurt or something."
yeah.
Well, that was like me when I broke my hand in a lathe in the shop. Um, I had broken my hand, and I'm telling the teacher, I'm like, I can still work. I make it through the day. I'm fine. And it was only a cut on my finger, like maybe a centimeter long, but it fractured my middle finger, and I was bleeding. I'm like, oh, I'm fine. Just put a Band-Aid on it, because I thought I only got nicked, but I broke a finger. And he's washing it in the sink, and I passed out, hit my head on those big old like U-shaped, horseshoe-shaped sinks. Hit my head on the edge of that and passed out for about 5 seconds. So yeah,
They should have put some mercurochrome on it for you.
Some what?
Mercurochrome?
Oh, I thought you said the other thing.
No. I'll take a couple of gallons of used oil and pour them on what I'm going to burn. Then I'll put a little bit of diesel and about 5 gallons of gasoline. And then I'll get my bow and arrow out and practice.
that sounds safe.
Oh, yeah. That's
Yeah.
when the neighbors come out, won't know what's going on.
When I cut my leg and was over at the hospital, they said that I was in shock, and I said, "Wouldn't I know if I was in shock?" And he said, you should be feeling pain and being freaking out and stuff." And I said, "No, I have 5 kids. I don't want them to see me going, oh no, I'm gonna die and this and that." I just stayed calm, and while they were working on my leg, "Does it hurt?" And I said, "Yeah, it hurts." "Why ain't you saying anything?" And I'm like, "Does it do any different if I say it hurts?"
Yeah.
Bubba, no, I'm pretty damn good with that shit.
Fuck,
Too.
man.
They actually put because the people over here didn't want to do anything because the veins were cut. Well, 90% of my leg was cut, and they put a blood pressure cup around my leg and pumped it up until I got to the hospital, which was 70 miles away.
This is why you always have a tourniquet.
No.
Bushcraft.
You,
Big Charmin asked you a question. Did we talk about an EMP attack?
your power, you lose power.
There, that's it.
That's it. Enough said. Done.
Yeah.
Checkmate.
There's not much you can do about it. It's just you deal with the aftermath of it.
It's when life tells you you're fucked.
Hang tight. Bubba knows when I really got into it, out of 7 arrows, I could put 3 in a pop bottle at around 20 yards.
I don't know what the fuck they put on these grips, man. I'm taking them off the revolver to put the rubber one on, and I don't know who machined these grips, but the wooden ones, they're like super tight. They don't want to come off.
The rubbers out.
Shut up, Jeff.
You make it so damn easy.
Again, shut up, Jeff.
Oh, yeah. It's 9 o'clock, isn't it?
Is it?
Oh shit! It is.
I got a live tomorrow night at 7 o'clock with a good guest. You guys will enjoy this guest. And then Jeff, are you going to be live Wednesday?
I will do my best to be live Wednesday.
Okay. And tonight we got Vineyard
Your
Chicks and this guy down over here.
I'm surprised.
I think
Damn,
he's
I don't
going
even
live.
get to be named. Damn.
He's doing a live too.
As a matter of fact, we're going live in 9 minutes.
10-9.
Again.
With that, catch you guys later. And I've got a video coming out tomorrow you guys will like.